Stage 8. What was it like? The children were excited. They're going to take part in a play. It was all about the history of the town. The play was going to be held at the park, and the children had reached their part scene. I hope we don't forget what to do, said Chip. Gran had come to watch the rehearsal. My goodness, she said, I don't believe it. Biff is wearing a dress. That's because we are children from World War II, said Biff. Girls didn't wear trousers then. Our town was banned in the war, said Chip. The bombing was called a bridge. Gran could remember it. I was only a girl, she said, but I remember the bridge well. You are awful close like these, said Biff. We have to carry these boxes, said Wilma, but they are empty. They weren't empty in the war, said Gran. They had gas masks in them. We had to take them to school every day. Gas masks, gas was fantastic. The children were shared their parts. In the play, they were sent away to live in the country. It wasn't safe to stay in the town because of the bombing. We have to pretend to be upset, said Wilma. Chip tried to pull a sad face. I'm going to pretend to cry, said Wolf. He made a loud noise, blowing his nose. Stop it, said Biff. You're making me laugh. The others began to laugh too. We shouldn't laugh, said Wilma. Gran spoke to the children. The war was a terrible time for everyone, she said. It wasn't funny. We are sorry, Gran, said Chip, but it was a long time ago. After rehearsal, Wolf and Wilma went home with Biff and Chip. Chip thought about the war. It must have been a hard time for the children then, he said. It's hard to imagine what it was like, said Wolf. I can't wait to take these clothes off, said Biff. I hate wearing this dress. Finally, the magic key began to glow. The magic took the children off on an adventure. It took them back into the street in London. We came back to the war, gasped Chip. This looks like a scene of a play. They saw a little boy all by himself. I was with my school, said the boy, but I got lost. May I come with you? Suddenly there was a long whooshing sound. That's an air running, said Wilma. It must where to it
means
we're going to be bombed. People began to run. A man shouted at them. Hey, he yelled, get into the shelter. Everyone ran into the shelter. Above the shelter, bombs were landing. Everything rocked and shook. I'm scared, said the little boy. So are we, said Wilma. I hope it's safe down here, said Biff. The noise went on for about 20 minutes. Then it stopped. Everything was quiet for a little while. Then the loud whizzing noise began. The air raid was over. That was really frightening, said Wolf. The children came out of the shelter. They couldn't believe their eyes. The street had been bombed. There was smoke and dust everywhere. Wilma put her arm around the little boy. One building was gone. It was just a pile of bricks. Another building was on fire. The firemen were starting to put the fire out. This is terrible, said Wolf. I didn't think it would be like this. A woman ran up to the children. She looked at the little boy. She took the little boy's hand. Oh, I'm so glad I found you, she said. She looked at the children. You must have all got lost too, she said. Come on, the train will be leaving soon. The station was crowded with children. They all had gas masks and they looked upset and unhappy. We are being sent away, said a little boy. It's because of the bombing. It is too dangerous to live here. A woman gave them all a brown paper bag. Woman, look inside hers. It's a dry sandwich and an apple, she said, but no sweets or chocolate bars. Of course not, said the woman. What did you expect? A man blew a whistle. Gas mask on, he ordered. And don't worry, there's no gas. This is just a practice. We don't have gas masks, whispered Chip. We only have empty boxes. Wolf opened his box. Inside was a gas mask. They all had gas masks in their boxes. I can't believe it, he gasped. Hurry up, shouted the man crossly. You must put them on quickly. Biff hated wearing the gas mask. It felt tight and uncomfortable. It had a funny smell and it felt hot. When she talked, her voice sounded funny and the gas mask slipped up. She couldn't wait to take it off. Grass, said Biff. That was terrible. It was so hard to breathe in that gas mask. The man blew his whistle again. It was time to get on the train. All the children had to line up. The little boy began to cry. I don't want to go away, sniffed the boy. I don't even know where we are going. But it's not safe to stay, said Chip. My mom had to stay, said the boy. Wilma gave the boy a packet of tissue. I never seen tissues before, said the little boy. At last the train came in. It's just a steam engine, said Wolf. The train pulled out smoke and it made a cracking noise. As it stopped, it gave a loud hiss. It took and steam. Smoke and steam filled the air. The grown-up began to call the curtains flames out. Then they are told to get on the train. I don't think our names are going to be called out, said Wilma. They don't know who we are. Wilma was right. The man came across them. Why aren't you on the train? He asked. The woman looked at her list. There shouldn't be anyone left, she said. I don't know who these children are. We can't leave them behind, said the man. We can't find out who they are later, but we'll have to take them up. We don't want to be split up, said Biff. We want to stay together. I'm sorry, said the man. I don't think you can. We can always keep children together, said the woman. Not even brothers and sisters. That's terrible, said Chip. Suddenly the magic key began to glow. The adventure was over. I don't like that adventure, said Chip. I was so scared being in the air raid. I felt sorry for the children, said Biff. Imagine having to Imagine having to leave home and going to live with people you don't know. "That poor little boy," said Wilma. Chip asked Gran to tell them about that ore. "I never saw a banana," said Gran. "There wasn't much food. We don't have lots of sweets or chocolate. We don't have nice shampoo. We don't have nice soap and shampoo. We only had a bath once a week." It was a night of the play. Biff, Chip, Wolf, and Wilma didn't laugh when they played their parts. They remembered the magic of the benton. They thought of the children running for the church train to come in. Gran was pleased with them. "You're really good," she said. Biff told Gran a secret. "The magic key shows us how hard it was in the war," she said. "I'm glad we only had to act it." The end.
Good.